So this is part two of my Kawasaki ZX14 Chinese fairing review. Part one, I just gave a quick little overview of what I got in the box and a few little things that I had seen. The one major thing was that the tail section, this is a 2006, and so being a Gen 1 has a different tail section than the Gen 2. It turned out that they send a Gen 2 tail section. Okay, so just to explain, this is obviously not what I got in the kit. This is my race seat, but I have the blue tail section hanging on the wall. That's the Gen 2 that came in the kit, and so they send this Gen 2 kind of rear tail section, and so for people with these Gen 1 seats, obviously don't quite line up, and so that was a bit of a debacle. But fortunately, I have I have this race seat that fits on here nicely for a Gen 2 bike, and I also have this bike, which I can interchange if I want the seat from that one. This is a 2013. So, anyways, I made the best of it, and all seemed to go well. Here are some of the things that I noticed about this. I'll try to start from the front here and work my way back. I would say the front section, the nose piece and everything fit up quite nicely. There were some challenges with some of the plastics, like in behind here. Some of these covers didn't line up quite right, and I really had to work at it. I would strongly suggest you have a small round file available when you do this job, and you'll have to be okay with largening and modifying some of the holes. Then the next thing I found was that this side, these mid-fairing covers, especially right here along the tank, were not lining up properly, so I ended up having to trim this edge. Not a big deal for me, but and you can see even here it doesn't line up quite right. This is going to be a track bike, and I want it to look nice, but I'm not going to be that fussy. I could see how somebody would be really disappointed, though, if they expected it to fit up nice, and that didn't work. Now, give the fact that this tank, this bike wasn't an accident. This tank is not perfect, has a bit of a wrinkle in it here, so I'm not expecting everything to line up to that tank perfectly. This cover, this is off a different bike. This is one that was crashed as well. I used this black cover just because I think it went better with the color scheme. But the one they sent me, I found was quite disappointed in. So this tank cover here, that try to put it in perspective. So yeah, this goes this way, and then these top, I don't have enough hands here, but that top little clip there was, I don't know if you can see it here, it's just so off-centered it wouldn't even go in the hole, so I ended up having to clip it off and not even use it. Again, not a huge issue. I was able to work around it, but it would be very annoying if you were expecting that to fit properly. As you can see, I had to take this hole out a little bit to make it work, and likewise on the other side. So that cover caused me a fair amount of grief. And then little things. There's a bit of a defect right there in the paint. You know, given the fact that these kits are around $500, I'm not going to complain too much, but yeah, just be aware you definitely have it. You have flaws in it. The other thing being the color. Obviously not. This is an 06. This is not Candy Thunder Blue or whatever they call that color that came factory on these. This is definitely some kind of a candy something else. They wouldn't give me a color code or give me any clue as to how to color match it. So that's why my tank is black, and some of the black parts on it, just to because I couldn't find the right paint. So I'm going to work at trying to get a match, but I just wasn't able to get that done. And yeah, so there's little things Now the tail light here doesn't quite line up perfectly, and again, same thing on this side with that mid fairing or mid cover didn't line up properly. I had to trim that piece off. These definitely cowl covers or whatever, the intake covers, they definitely are feeling a little bit cheaper quality. You notice the difference when you start to work with them. But yeah, all in all, I'm still fairly happy. I don't think at this point with this bike anyways, I don't think I would have gone to anything more expensive. But if I was to replace, say, the plastic on this bike here, I'd probably go higher quality, spend the money, and get something that's got a bit of a better reputation. But yeah, just thought I would. I think the big thing for people is just realizing that this tail section is a Gen 2. I saw online someone posted on a forum here not too long ago that they were, very surprised, and I chimed in and said I had the same kind of shock. But anyways, as long as people realize that, and because they don't advertise those types of things on their sites. But that's about it. And yeah, it's all back together and running and working, and I can't ask for anything more. All right, have a great day.